everybody. Happy Saturday. How are you all doing? Let me see if I can make sure I'm situated here. Happy Saturday. Happy 4th of July. If you are here in the United States, I hope that even with social distancing and things not being open very much publicly, that you find some way to connect with family and friends, either virtually, by phone, something along those lines, and enjoy your day. Celebrate and embody that freedom that we are celebrating. So do something that you enjoy, give yourself the freedom to relax and have fun, just be mellow if that's what freedom feels like for you today. Hi, Marilyn, good to see you. Okay, so here we are. I'm excited. Well, this isn't new. I've done this before. I'm doing a 3-part series. Happy 4th, Marilyn. I'm doing a 3-part video series. So before I dive into that, if you are new to the page or if you haven't been here in a while, I have realigned, I suppose, my messaging. So let me introduce myself and let you know who I am. I am Patty Diaz. I am the founder and manifestation coach here at Blue Moon Manifestations. I am obsessed with helping you guys amplify your happiness and live life unapologetically on your terms. I do this through one-on-one and group coaching, as well as providing classes and workshops of the like, designed to help you find and live a life of magic, which stands for manifestation, abundance, gratitude, intention, as well as intuition and clarity. So all these components combined are what I talk about, are what I love to infuse in my life and show you guys how to do the same thing. So if you are looking for that in your life, looking to step into your magic, live the life that you want to live, you have found the right place. I am here to help you do that. So today I am starting a 3-part video series. It will be this Saturday, and then the next 2 Saturdays will be this series. And I'm calling it, the series is about letting go of the could haves and should haves in our lives. And it's culminating on the 18th because that is actually a day, one of the national days that people recognize, National Let Go of, or Throw Away, I believe, National Throw Away the Could Haves and Should Haves Day. So instead of starting this series on that day, I thought it would be best to wind up the series on that day so we can celebrate that day and look back at these last 3 weeks and things that we have practiced, the practices that I'm going to give you, how you feel, what you have accomplished, and letting you know that, it doesn't have to be hard. It does have to be intentional, and you have to do the work, but it's possible. You can change your outlook. You can change your perspective. You can change your energy just by deciding to do so. And these are designed to help you do that. So with today, I'm going to give you one activity today, one activity next week, and then wrap it up with an activity on the 3rd Saturday. And so that's how they will all tie together. So they're not going to be as long as I had done before, since I'm not talking on, just one specific topic for the day. I'm breaking it up into pieces. So I'm excited. Part 1 today is to get a piece of paper or a journal or a notepad, something that you can rip the page out of at the end, that you don't worry, it's not going to bother you. Like if you have a journal that you don't want to rip pages out of, don't use that journal. Maybe use one of those composition notebooks, or just a regular notebook, pad of paper, just a loose sheet from your printer, printing paper, anything at all, because we're not going to keep it. So what the project is for today, and actually throughout the week, is to identify your list of could haves and should haves. So I should have done this, I could have done that, I should have, stayed in this, school longer, or whatever the case is. I should have left that job earlier. Anything that comes up for you in your life as a regret, because though that is what could haves and should haves are. They are regrets, things that you regret doing or not doing. Write them all out and in any aspect of your life. I want you to take a look at all the major aspects of your life and even little ones that come up. So friendships, family, career, education, health. What are some other major aspects? Recreation, like vacations and things like that, things you enjoy, participating in hobbies or activities or not doing that. Take all of these things that you can think of, write them out on a list, and don't try to change them yet. Just write everything that they are down and keep track of it throughout the week. If things come up during the week that you notice, or you're like, oh, I can put that on my list, write it down. So depending on how busy you are, if you're out and about, I would suggest carrying the notepad or the notebook or journal with you in your bag in case things come up while you're out. If you're at home the majority of the time, I would say, put the pad of paper at your desk or at your nightstand. Maybe pin it up on your bulletin board or, in a drawer in your desk that's easily accessible so that when you notice them this week, when things come up, you jot them down on the list. And that's all I want you to focus on for this activity, for this week. There are 2 more steps coming because I want to give you the whole week, because as we start moving through life and as you start thinking of these things, more will likely come to you throughout the week. So that's why I wanted to give you the time without like, oh, I have to do this all in one day, or I have to do this all just today, or whatever the case is. Keep track of them. And also, just as a side note, if you want to use these things that you're coming up with as things that you want to let go of for the full moon that's coming up on Sunday, then either make a photocopy or, do a separate list, which is a little bit redundant, but just for the purposes of this, series, I want you to have that paper handy. And if you don't get rid of a forgiveness list at the full moon, some people just write it out and don't throw it away or anything like that for their full moon practice, then no worries. You can use this one for both if you're not going to be getting rid of it for that. So put it away. And I also want to remind you, I jotted down a couple things here. When you're thinking of the could haves and should haves, these are the things that keep you living in the past. And this is why this practice is so important. Get rid of them, because living in the past, we just keep reliving it. Nothing can be done about what's already happened. If situations or events in the past obviously led to where you are now, you can change them moving forward, but you can't change what has already happened. So you can change your trajectory starting today. You can change decisions you make starting today. You can change directions that you want to go starting today, but you can't go back and do it, right? So that's why living in the past accomplishes nothing. It keeps us from moving forward, and it also keeps us from enjoying and living in the present. So if we're so worried about, oh man, I could have done this, I could have been further ahead if I'd done that, if I'd saved more money, I would, all these things, but you're so worried about that and what could have been, that you're not appreciating what you actually have right now, what you are living right now. So you will be constantly living your life in looking backwards, looking in the rearview mirror, and just rehashing more and more and more and more, instead of changing your focus to now and looking forward so that you can change it and actually do something about it. So for whatever reason, that's how our mind is wired. We look back thinking, oh, all these regrets, all these things I could have and should have done, but we can't change that part. We can only change from right here where we're standing and moving forward. So this is what I want to help you do with this series. Write your lists down, add to them as you are going through your week. Maybe if you have a regular journaling practice, keep this page with your journal, and maybe you can journal about some of the things in your journal as well. Or as you're asking yourself in meditation for guidance or for things that maybe you do regret but don't come to the surface right away, this will help you remember them. This will help you bring them to the surface so that we can then ditch them and they don't sneak up, right? And these little unseen ways or unforeseen ways in the future, when these tiny little regrets that maybe we glossed over or thought we had dealt with but really haven't, then they pop their little heads up in the future or at some point because we haven't addressed them. So once we address them and then moving forward do something about it, then you have the resources to know how to identify them and what to do with them. So also, as you're writing out your list and as you're thinking about things, keep in mind that regrets and these could haves and should haves also may take the form of what if I statements or if I only statements. So what if I had stayed in school longer? What if I had started school? What if I had gone to college? What if I had left that job or left that relationship earlier? What if I had, or if I had only listened to my mom? If I had only paid attention, to what was going on around me. If I had only, all these things serve no purpose. So we're going to identify them, round them up all together in one sheet of paper or on one page, one note, whatever. Keep them together throughout the week. And next week we have a second activity, and then on the 18th, yes, the 18th, we have the final activity to wrap this series up. So I hope this series idea is something that you like. Please let me know in the comments if you like this type of format. I'm not going to do it all the time, but if it's something that resonates with you, I will include more of them. I tend to like it because it keeps me, like I said earlier, it doesn't make me feel rushed, like I have to accomplish something right today. It gives me the way, it helps my brain to see that it's a process anyway, and it can be done in stages, and it can be, we can go back and do them again. It's not a one and done type of situation. So I will be including more of these if you guys like them. And also, if you guys are watching this now, or if you're watching this on the replay, or if something comes up, let me know in the comments if you have had this type of experience where you're just dwelling, or every time you see something that you regret, you go back to that, oh, what if? And instead, we're going to start changing that. If something, I don't know, when you see someone's graduation plaque or diploma, let's say diploma or degree on the wall, if every time you see something like that someone else has, it triggers you to go, oh my gosh, what if I had stayed in school? What if I had actually gone to school? What if I had started college? If I had only, you know what? It doesn't matter. If it really is something that you want to do and that you regret, you can do it now, or you can find a way to get yourself to do it now just by manifesting it and setting the intention to do that, because that is much more productive than dwelling on what you did or didn't do however many years ago. So that's it. That's the little snippet for today. Write out your could haves and should haves list. Keep it available. Have it ready for next week. And remember that the could haves and should haves could take the form of what if I statements and if I only statements. No judgment. Don't worry about the statements that are on there. Be honest with yourself and include ones that are real and genuine to you. We are not going to share them, publicly. I'm not going to ask you to post a picture or anything like that of your list. But be honest, because if you let things go or don't really address it, we're going to have to come back and do it again, which will more than likely happen anyway. But at least right now, you can address the things that you regret now. And as you move through life, maybe a different layer will come up, because that's how life goes. So don't leave stuff out that you think of. Don't judge yourself about what they are. Just say, I'm going to be kind and give myself grace and be honest and write what they are down, because that's how I'm going to transition or transform into the person that I want to be moving forward, instead of looking back and living in the past. So that's it today, you guys. Let me know if you are excited about doing this 3-week activity. And if this is something that you want to dive deeper about, there is always the option to schedule a 30-minute complimentary clarity call if these are things you really have been struggling with, and see what might be the best fit for you. Because I have small group coaching, offers. I have individual coaching, or maybe just doing practices like this, or starting a journaling practice. That might be what you need to kickstart your transformation. So as always, those are available at any time. 30 minutes and complimentary. You can book them by clicking on the Book Now button somewhere on this page. I'm not sure which slide it's on. And I will see you next Saturday for the follow-up to this at, again, 1 p.m. Pacific. And let me know how it goes throughout the week, guys. I will talk to you soon.